Big 12 statement. On the Big 12 unanimously adopting a conference rule barring Big 12 member institutions from fielding professional athletes in any conference-sponsored sport. No member institution may roster an athlete who has at any time declared for the draft or supplemental draft or professional sports league and did not timely withdraw before the draft, been listed on the roster of a professional sports league, or signed a contract with any professional sports league to provide athletic services. So there's still many questions, and the rules have to be written in much more detail than this. Because you sign a contract with a professional sports league to provide athletic services. Okay, so if you sign with an NBA team to be on a summer league roster, you probably have to sign something to go to an NFL rookie camp. But I think we all recognize, as you pointed out earlier in the show, rookie camp is different than being in the training camp in August and being, in preseason games. That's like the rookie camp is like a tryout to see if we even want to bother to bring you in as one of the 85 or whatever it is number now. They change that rule occasionally. I'm not sure what the exact number is. Before they cut it down to 53.
Yeah.
If you're on the 53, no way. But even if you're one of the 80 or 90 or whatever they're putting in the first preseason game, you're done in college.
Yeah.
But rookie camp's okay. Summer league's okay.
Well, rookie camp is akin to, you'll hear it, they'll have the Seattle Mariners, to use them as an example, they'll have a tryout in Phoenix, and 150 guys show up. You got guys all over the place, and that's the same thing. So that wouldn't count or shouldn't count. And I would go so far as to say the NBA Summer League doesn't count. That might be more gray. I understand that. But for me, in the example of the Kohler kid here who wants to play at BYU this coming season, I would say that's fine. I know you played on the Summer League, but it's just a few days. And it's not real. It's not training camp. If you go to training camp, that is an entirely different thing than summer leagues and pickup games and whatnot. It used to be like if you played in some like a pro league in the summer that had pros, you would have to sit out. I mean, it's stupid stuff.
Right.
Brandon Jesse way back once got an 8-game, 9-game. Yoli Childs, he didn't file the paperwork or some stupid thing, and he got the third of the season. That's fairly recent in the case of Childs. Jesse's going back 30 years, but that seems like it might be 5,000 years from what they're allowing now. To me, the training camp, the distinction is training camp. When the first day of training camp opens for the Jazz, which would be around October 1st, if you are there wearing their uniform in their practice, you're out. But everything else before, I'm okay. NFL, that rookie tryout stuff is not training camp. But July 20th, whatever day it opens, if you were there and you report to wherever it is, you're out. It needs to be more black and white. And the foreign thing has always been a little bit of a
We've got a lot of that. We got Michael. Does this apply to pros from overseas leagues as well? Basketball and soccer have many former pros from international pro leagues. And I suppose the question is going to be what level. And that's the foreign version of what you're saying with these camps. Because you can be with a foreign club, but they call them like their senior team. And then they've got, basically, they have like their own minor league system and age groups. So, and if you excel.
Yeah, because they don't have college sports.
Right. And if you're Luka Doncic and you excel at 14 years old, they're going to put you, with the 18-year-olds.
Well, they have to determine some drop deadline there. The cutoff I'm looking for.
And it may be that senior roster, that first team, like if you're with them. Otherwise, you're in their equivalent of high school and college.
Right. Yeah, they have the academies and so forth because they don't play the college. And I don't even know they do high school.
No. Well, I mean, if they do, it's not.
Not like our system.
No.
Which is why we're the friggin' greatest country in the world, and I got no problem admitting that. And if you have a problem with that, you know what you can do? I mean, I'll be right there on the front line, man.
I don't think we can say it on the radio.
I'll say it on the radio.
It goes back to Roki Sasaki, and can he show the blister? Well, it depends. Define pro sports league, Jason said. Yes, it will have to be defined. And it wasn't that defined in the statement they put out. The rules, I'm sure, are more defined than that. He says there could be extremely broad in its interpretation. In fact, isn't the NCAA a professional sports league at this point? Schools are paying players directly now.
Sure. And that's why they're establishing these guidelines. It is. Okay, fine. Yeah. All right, great.
Mark says this is the way it should be. But there are some coaches who are going to encourage said athletes to challenge it in court. That is true. And not just coaches. There's agents out there as well. Well, they want to get paid. They're going to find the best place for their player to get paid.
They can do whatever they want, but the courts need to wake up and do it as appropriately. And the Lane Kiffins of the world, stop with your justification. We get it. Every single coach out there wants to win. And a lot of these programs, most of them, want to win at all costs, which means, and they'll couch it. And Kiffin is who he is, man. If you're looking for a man of impeccable, upstanding, will never waver in the face of temptation, he's not your guy. But he's not really that different.
So there's three groups of coaches here, and I think the third group, the one you'd like to see, is the smallest group. There's a group of coaches who will push the envelope and do whatever it takes to win. There's a second group of coaches, which I think is what Ryan Day was kind of how he was describing himself when he played that bite earlier this morning. Like, hey, I don't want to do this, but if everybody else is doing it, I'm not going to be at a competitive disadvantage. I'm doing it too, but go ahead and change the rules.
And I don't believe Ryan Day.
Oh, you don't think he wants to lead the charge?
No, I don't think I don't really want to do it. So I'm just going to couch it that, I have to do it. I have to do it for you Buckeye fans. I'm doing this for you. I'm not doing it for myself.
Well,
I'm a man
of
upstanding, impeccable credentials. No.
I don't think he's the one who's going to push the envelope, and maybe he'll prove me wrong here.
Because he doesn't have
there
to.
There it is. That's where I was. That's exactly where I was going.
He gets five. If you're not a 5-star, they don't want to be interested. He's already said that.
He's already at the front of the parade. So what does he need a rule change
for?
The current rules are working really well for him and for Ohio State. So he's not going to be the one who pushes the envelope. Now, LSU wants to be at the front of the parade. Occasionally they have been, but they haven't been able to stay there. So they will push the rule.
Well, and they got the right guy.
Yeah. Yes.
Whatever rule he can bend, he's going to.
Lane.
And I think the administration allows it. It's like I don't dump on the steroid dudes. The league looked the other way. McGuire Sosa, after the strike, are essentially the Magic and Bird.
They made everybody a lot of money.
Yeah.
They did. They brought eyeballs back when people were disgusted with the game. It's like, man, I'm still mad you canceled the World Series, but I got to watch you hit home runs. This is just too amazing.
I can remember being in the Tribune newsroom when it was on Main Street, and all these 22-year-olds are now work for the Tribune. On Main Street? What? Well, that's where the offices were, and we had little TVs on the walls, and the news desk and the city side reporters and so forth, we were all jammed in together, and we're all watching Sosa and McGuire on a Tuesday night. The people who had no real interest in sports. Wow, it's some big home run thing.
Everything.
I'm going to check it out. Yeah, and so I'm supposed to dump on these guys as if they're just friggin' death row criminals? And Kiffin here, when the administration is okay with it, that's why they brought him in. They brought him in full well knowing his team was in the playoff. We don't care. We don't care about the youngsters on that team. We care about us. Screw them. They're 18, 22 years old, all in or in the way. Screw that. We want Kiffin. They could have waited a few weeks. He wasn't going anywhere, but they didn't.
He was going somewhere. He's going to Baton Rouge.
If they would have waited?
None of that whole collegiality, everybody in this conference is in the same boat together, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
blah,
we're
blah,
family.
Blah.
Yeah, they're family in the way the Bus family's family.
Here's a sharp stick. Take your glasses off so I can poke you in the eye.
Right. So, and now I'm expecting them to be high moral character? No. Why would I expect that? You pick up a snake, he's going to bite you. Yeah. And we had Care on when you were gone, and Riley's just saying, "Oh, Eric, he's just making all sorts of fun of me. PK's making fun of me." And Care says, "Hey, you knew what he was when you picked him up."
I've had occasion to talk with a couple high school principals and talking about high school football and all the transferring and all that, and you've come up in it, and and they're not all aware that you know Eric Care so well because your wife worked in the same athletic department, and you end up just sitting at games, talking. And I said, so Care walks over and sits down, and PK's got to give him a hard time because he's PK, and people are like, they know.
Yeah, so I don't even know that I really criticize Kiffin because the system is allowing him to do it. And he wants to win. He's paid to win games. He's not paid to build upstanding future community leaders, all that BS that we hear about.
And he's at that rare school where you're
you're
paid to win games.
If you don't.
You're out the door, but you're paid to win playoff games.
Right.
You could add, Kelly won a lot of games, but he wouldn't win a playoff game, so next.
That's why the more responsible of adults, if there's such a thing, need to have these rules. This is something that the entire state of NCAA athletics and all the administrators and all the presidents, everybody involved, just woefully dropped the ball on. And, the horse out of the barn or whatever that expression is. And now we're trying to corral Secretariat to get back into the barn.
Well, there was so long where they made so much money off players, and players didn't get checks, and you can see. And even when they started giving them,
I thought you were going to
cost of
say something else. I thought you were going to say players didn't get.
Well, they did. If I'm reading your mind correctly, I believe the answer to that was yes. But it's like, well, we'll give them cost of attendance. So they give them like $17,000. Well, we're seeing people playing for $1.5 million. You're like.
And that was a start, but we went from that to just everything.
But the thing is,
with no regulations.
It finally went to the courts, and the judges have just routinely rejected the rules in college sports. So now it comes down to not just the presidents, ADs, and coaches, but also the school lawyers. Like, what rule can we make that will stand up?
Anything. Because if you just refuse to do it, then who cares what the court rules?
Yeah, but they're not going to refuse to do it because everybody wants to win.
Then that's where they need to stand up and say, this is what we need to do. As I said, training camp. That's a black and white line that is easily identifiable, recognizable, and implemented. If you go to training camp, no. This way, everybody knows. Jaxon Kohler did not go or has not, they haven't had it yet, has not gone to training camp. If he goes, he being plural, using him as an example, well, he didn't. He went to the summer league. Okay, you're good to go. It's no problem. It's a tryout. You go to the rookie camp that they have, and it's usually like a week or two after the draft. Fine. Give yourself a shot. It's not there. It's not training camp. And away you go. Maybe you can even, I guess in order to go to the OTAs, which are just off-season practice, I don't know why we call them OTAs, I guess you got to be successful from the mini camp. That might be a little bit of a gray line. Although I would be okay with that. I want what's beneficial for the youngster who needs to find out, do I have a shot here while still maintaining this over here?
And there's that, and then they've got to do something with the roster so that, because everything you're saying, it's another month, and the college kids are getting locked in, and I don't think anybody likes or feels good about the whole notion, if I'm bringing this player back after the rookie camp, after the OTAs, after the NBA Summer League, whatever it is, now do you have to cut somebody? So the coaches know you have to hold a spot, or there's another that says you can't say, okay, you got 14 or 15 roster spots wherever you want to draw the line, and then you get 2 spots to bring people back. You got your 85 football players, your 105 football players, and you got 3 spots to bring players back.
They could just tell the Johnny, bring him in April. Hey, Johnny, we like what you're doing. We don't know if you're going to make the team. We're holding 5 spots open, and if we get 5, there's a possibility that you won't be on the team. Are you okay with that, Johnny? Do you want to go someplace else? Do you want to stick it out?
They'll never be that upfront.
Why not?
Because that's just not the history of it.
Well, there is no history.
The positive is in the past they used to have the walk-ons, and then when they didn't fill that spot, they would give the walk-on the roster spot, and they'd make it a positive, and they'd shoot the video and put it out on social media, and they'd scream like crazy.
They still, and Michigan is having tryouts this week. We're walk-on tryouts. Yeah. Classes have started, so that's still available.
So Kyle's got a spot.
Yeah. Or enlarge the roster by 5. What the crap is the difference?
Yep.